Are you guys ready to just get into it?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I've
Dude.
been ready, bro.
All right. Well, guys, welcome to the newest episode of the Three Amigos podcast. Yes, I'm leading it off this week. We only have McJam for a short time today. And Alex, do you remember what the fuck you said last week, buddy? It's no big deal. This, and that. You had a laundry
I'm
list.
going to be a happy fan.
Yep. And McJam, you want to tell them what's going on? You want to get into your bird gang, man, and flock with your team and go rip into Alex really fast?
Yes, sir. The bird's nest is here. I'm sorry that Crosby has to hear this.
Yeah, remember
but
I'm carrying a baby, so yeah, I remember
Yeah.
you're saying it in front of my child.
Can't
Yeah,
understand
fine.
anything.
The disrespect last week of just not even mentioning the Cardinals as your next game, just going on your high horse about your Steelers, disrespectful. The Cardinals laid it to you, absolutely put the hurt on you. Pickett, weak ankles, don't care about him. Your playoff is probably
Pussy.
done now. And yeah, I just very proud of my Cardinals, Bird Gang, all the way till I die. And it was an embarrassment.
See, I
for
think
the
I think
Steelers.
Jake is underselling it right now. See, Alex, you were so confident after you lost your OC. You were so like, this is the Steelers now, baby. 400 yards of offense.
When it's
oh,
my
yeah.
turn, just
And
let
then
me
guess
know.
what? Guess
I'm
what?
putting you guys on mute.
24-10. 24 to 10. Brutal.
Oh, are we talking? Are we allowing?
I
me
was
to
going to
talk?
sign language because, I'm taking ASL to understand what DK is saying. But right back at you, dude. James Conner was like, fuck
Wait a
you,
minute,
got
wait a
rid
minute,
of
how did
me.
I
Let
get
me
skipped
score
over?
not one, but 2 touchdowns on you. Hey, you'll have your time. Give us a second. We got to help McJam. He doesn't know how to ream into you. He's always on your
He's
side.
too nice
He always
to
is
you.
your best friend. He's like, oh, Alex picked him. I'll pick him too. So, you know what? So we got to help him dig into you, buddy, because you gave no respect to the Cardinals last week. You blew them off. You thought they were
24
nothing.
10.
Well, I remember, like you just said, 400 yards. This is the new Steelers. Weak ass ankle boy. Can't do nothing on the Cardinals. They get their first win after the Cowboys. I mean, nope, that was somebody else in between. But literally, you talk crap about the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals, and then you go right around and do the same too.
What are you looking up now, Alex? What are you?
He's just ignoring it. He's just eating it.
He's just
Nothing.
ignoring. Okay,
Nothing.
okay, Alex, we'll let you now be a happy Steelers fan because, like you said, you're going to remain positive.
No,
you're going to be
I am
super
positive.
happy.
I am positive. You know why?
Okay,
You know why?
Yeah.
It's hard not to be positive. You still have the 5th seed in the playoffs. Hey, numbers don't lie, right? I'm so sorry that the
It's-
bottom.
There's a lot
sometimes-
of time left.
Sometimes you gotta lose a hard game at the right time to make sure that your team is ready for the postseason. Justin, I'm so sorry that our bet is called off now because it doesn't look like. I understand how Kenny Pickett's going to come back. He's not going to.
I hope he does. Makes it to the playoffs and you lose.
What I'm telling you right now is, listen, we all have lost to bad teams, okay?
Yeah.
One of these people podcast team has lost to the same team that
Yeah.
my team lost to.
Yeah.
And he
disrespected.
disrespected and wrote them off the same way that I did. So don't act like you're going to get on your damn high horse, Justin, and say that I rose off and disrespect. I did disrespect the Cardinals. They should have been disrespected. But you know what happens? You know what happens? When you don't play a team up to their standards, they're going to beat your ass. And that's what happened. We didn't come and play to the Cardinals standards. And unfortunately, we got beat. The Cardinals are probably better than their record shows, but unfortunately, we were on the losing end of that time.
You
We're
weren't
better
saying
than
it
their
last week.
record shows on the fact that Kyler's been missing most of the season.
Yeah.
But it's not like they looked amazing the week before with him. Literally the week before, we were thinking, oh, okay, this is the same Cardinals as earlier in the season.
But it's the second
McJam
game.
was
they
And
not.
spank you.
you can't. Okay, first off.
Or was
First
TJ
off.
Watt that game?
First off, yes, thank you for pointing out the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain like they usually do. Okay. Second off, we lose our starting quarterback no matter who it is. It's your starting
He's
quarterback.
not good.
It doesn't matter who's good and who's not good. When you've been getting the reps for 14 weeks with the number ones, and then you have to put your number 2 in, it doesn't matter who is the number 1. It's going to be weird, right? Am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're not.
All right, so it doesn't
I
matter
just
if
saw
he's good or
Browning
not.
win this last weekend with the Bengals.
Yeah, but that's his second game with them.
Brutal.
Now we'll see what Mitchell Trubisky can do. We had high hopes from UNC. We had high hopes when we signed him. There's a reason Kenny Pickett's our starting quarterback and not Mitchell Trubisky. I don't have super high hopes for him.
Mitchell Trubisky went 11 for 17. I mean, he didn't have the greatest show out, but he didn't have the worst.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's still Mitchell Trubisky, 11 for 17.
I mean,
watch next game he's going to go 11 for 17.
70 yards. He's basically the same thing. He did the same stats that Kenny Pickett would statistically.
Yeah, but Kenny Pickett has this it factor about him in the fourth quarter for some reason. That is, you think I'm lying? He has the most fourth quarter comeback wins in NFL right now. So it's like
enough about Kenny Pickett. Just to close out the Bird Gang here. Steelers are bad. Cardinals are going to win out the rest of the season, and that's all I got to say. I have to go. I love you all. Goodbye, Crosby. Goodbye, all.
Enjoy your game, Jake.
I love that your baby is sitting there just eating this, watching his dad. Doesn't even understand what his dad's saying, but just watching his dad just he's taking shot after shot after shot.
He's got a lot of hair since the last time I saw him.
Yeah, let's hope he keeps it unlike his father. But hey, Alex, we can go right into the birds.
I mean, same thing can be said to Charlie, but man, Alex, you're catching some strays right off the bat on this.
Alex, I'm just teasing, buddy. We really, truthfully, I love you, and at the end of the day, you definitely know I wasn't on a high horse. You just get to being with it. You get to be in it with me. At that point, that wasn't me. You guys remember? You ridiculed me for the same thing. You probably said some mean things to me about it. And guess what? Now we're in the same boat. I'm not high and mighty. You just got to my level. So welcome to the club, boy. Get off your phone, hang up and hang out. This is a podcast episode. I do not know what you're doing right now, but you're supposed to be.
We can't hear you.
Yeah,
we can't hear you.
Great. Kids.
Sorry, my kid's screaming, so I'm not trying to have it on. I'm trying to get the layout so I know what we're talking about.
He's so grumpy. He's so grumpy. Look, we started it off like that. Kids crying, can't get the layout up. Team's just ripping into him. It's all good. Alex, we still love you. We'll give you a minute to get your baby under control. And we'll just let Chris, we could talk about a lot of things, but you want to talk about the predictions from last week? They were actually pretty intense.
I had to have done horrible.
No one really did bad, which is actually really awesome. But the problem is
it no one really did bad because we all did bad? Because it felt like watching the games, like there was like, oh man, that was a loss. That was a loss.
I mean, to me, to be honest with you, I feel if it's ever above 500, I feel good. I'm confident.
Okay.
If it's like 7-5, I feel good too. And I would say we were closer to 75% right. And that 25% wrong. So we're working better. We're working in directions. Let's just bring it up with the rear because we had two ties. We had ties for first. We had ties for third. Chris, welcome to the club, buddy. We're dead last this week, man. By one.
See, I knew I had a bad week.
It's okay, dude. You still went. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 5. I don't think that's bad. I think that's confident. That's a good little choice. Some of those games are close. Like we lost the Colts one.
Yeah.
We lost the Eagles one, which we didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was a shocker, but I was happy about that.
Right. He's the only one to get that right. And Alex, congratulations. You and McJam tied for first. And so you guys had a record of 9-4. You guys did. That was really good. I'm super impressed with you. So although your Steelers didn't get a win.
Picking with my home team really fucked me in winning the predictions.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
but honestly, I almost voted with you. It was only to spite you last week that I chose the Cardinals. So thank you for whatever you did because I would have ended up dead last. So thank you for allowing me to choose the Cardinals and make that decision.
You're welcome. I'm here to please the people and make sure that everyone's predictions stay good. I still can't believe that we got that the win this week, boys. It was rough out here. Watching the 49ers absolutely destroy the Eagles was so fun.
Loved it. Yeah, that was great.
And I can't wait to get in all these topics, and we definitely can. But I really want to know from Chris. That game was way closer than I actually thought it should have been. You guys were crushing them, and then you did nothing.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
21-0.
We went up. Yeah, you're telling me, boys. So I had a rough Saturday night, not in a fun way or anything. Like just I was up late, finishing some work, and then Charlie and different things, and so I slept in pretty late Sunday morning. So by the time the Lions started and I turned them on, it was 14-0. I was like, this is fantastic. And then they quickly went up 21-0. It's like, damn, are we about to like Dolphins these guys? Like, are we about to put up 70? Feeling pretty good. And then it was like a totally different team started playing after that. Our defense went back to playing like shit. Our offense could not for the life of them start moving the ball down the field. Like right off the bat in the very start of the game, our run game was doing great. And then it was like our run game wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So I got to hand it to the Saints. They made some great adjustments. I thought it was funny that Derek Carr got booed coming onto the field after a Taysom Hill play. Because Taysom Hill started tearing it up on us just with his feet running it. It got to the point, I'm not going to lie to you, where I had to stop watching because I was so pissed. I was just like, we're going to blow this fucking game. We're going to lose this game. We started off 21-0, 7 minutes into this game, and now we're going to fucking blow it. So I stopped watching, and I was updated by some people live, telling me what was going down, but I just couldn't watch it. And so I was very happy that we held on for the win. I was able to go back and kind of finish the end of the game, but I was just so frustrated. I was just like,
it should have never been that close. This should have been a blowout. And this is
we let them come back.
I'm kind of an observer.
That's why I'm not even in my jersey this week.
I get you. This Sunday I had a big work event, so I didn't get to watch that much football. I did watch a little bit of the Eagles 49ers game on my thing, but just looking at this thing, I was looking at it, watching the 21-0. I thought that was impressive, but man, their run game came back and really destroyed you. That's what the worst part was. Alvin Kamara, Tim Hill,
Alvin Kamara started getting
and
hot.
Crazy Derek Carr is getting booed. His stat line's not bad. He must just not be playing well or making good decisions. I mean, 17 for 22, 226, a touchdown. He had an interception, but that's normal.
He doesn't look good though. No. Like watching him, if I was a Saints fan, I'd be nervous every throw. I would not be confident.
And that's another thing we can get into. But I really have a question about the Lions specifically at this point. Not really great in performances these last 2 weeks. Chris. How are you feeling about this team? I know you're really, really confident going to the Cowboys game the 30th. Are you less confident now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am. I'm not confident in the Cowboys game. I'm not confident in the playoffs. Like I'm sure there's some Lions fans out there that would say I'm a bad fan because there were some fans, who are like me, who are like, this is fucking pathetic. Like we're playing as the season gets further along. We're playing worse and worse, it feels like. And then there's other Lions fans who are like, you just got to have faith. A win's a win. Like, this team is different. We're going to get it done. It's like, yeah, this team's different. They're a lot more talented and more disciplined, but there's still a lot of the same fucking mistakes that I've seen for years and years and years. And my confidence level has gone down over the weeks. Even when we've won, my confidence after that Bears game was not high and mighty.
No,
certainly not after that Packers loss. And then the week before the Bears, we had the Chargers, and that was another one that came down to the wire. And yeah, I was proud of us for going for it on fourth down and getting it and making plays to win and be clutch. But since then, it just feels like what happened to the team at the start of the year that was beating teams by 2 touchdowns, like that's gone. So yeah, I am nervous about that Cowboys game, and this team needs to get hot and turn it around the rest of December. That's all I got to say.
Do you think that the adversity of going through this and still coming out with a winning record is going to help your team going to the playoffs or hurt your team?
I mean, I feel like it could only help in the sense that these guys are in really tough situations, clutch situations where they have to make something happen, and they are. So I think that that builds your team, that makes it stronger. So when you are in those high stress situations where a game's on the line and it's for the playoffs or it's in the playoffs, like you've been there, done that. You're confident and you can go out there and be like a Tom Brady who was so calm and collective in those moments and got it done. So in that sense, it can only be positive, but I don't necessarily like the situations earlier in the game that lead to having to be in that situation, the mistakes on coverage in the defense, or the dropped balls, or the bad passes,
Yeah.
What do you think MCDC is saying to the team right now?
Knowing him, he's probably just firing them up, trying to remain confident, letting them know they're dogs, that because they are, in the sense that, when the game's on the line and they need to make magic happen, they can pull their shit together and make it happen. But I think he's probably like, hey, we got to tighten in the reins. We got to do better earlier in the game so we don't put ourselves in those situations. But if we are in those situations, we know that we can make it happen.
Right. Well, I don't think you guys still didn't play a bad game. It's not, I mean, you didn't produce, I think, at the end of the day to the stat that you needed to, maybe put yourself in bad positions, but it's not like you turned the ball over a lot.
No, I think the worst, the reason why I left the game with the sour taste in my mouth is you go up so fucking much, so fast, and then
putter out a 33
by halftime, you let them come back and be within close range of you. So
they only had 7. It's really that third quarter they got 14 on.
Okay, it was the third. Yeah, you're right. It was right after the first half that they quickly caught up with us, and it was just ugly.
Understood, man. Well, dude, big game this week. What do you got? I don't even know who you're playing this week, to be honest with you.
We are playing the Bears again.
Oh, divisional game. Yeah. How you feeling?
Divisional game. It wasn't smooth last time, and now we're in Chicago. The only thing I can say is that I am expecting a big game out of David Montgomery, who's going to be highly motivated to go into that stadium and shut that crowd up.
Yeah, so I sit Gibbs and let Montgomery just run it all over? Because I don't have Montgomery, but Gibbs, man, tell me.
I mean, in the league that I have Gibbs, I'm in no position to worry about bench. Yeah, I'm fucked. So I'm leaving him in. I still think Gibbs plays his role. I think they still play a balanced run game, but for sure I would expect Montgomery to get more of the carries in this game because they know he's got emotion in it.
100%. Going back home for the first time. Was he always? No, he was used to be a Packer, then a Bear. Now he's a Lion, right?
No, I think he's always been a Bear. He's always been a Bear. There's another guy, I think Ty Montgomery was a Packer.
Yep, that's what you're talking about, maybe. But either way or not, excited for the game. Hopefully it does go good. You got anything else for us in this Lions Den adventure?
Not really. I've said what I said. I'm ready to move on. I'm hoping that this week is a brighter note. I just didn't leave that game with a ton of confidence.
I get you. Well, I know Alex is still with his baby and things like that. So I'm gonna let him do his dad thing. Wait a second. Superman's got to go change because Chris, you can give me a really great intro to the Cowboys corner.
Oh boy. What's my time, you think? He's not getting okay. He's gone. I'm just gonna have to improvise and expect him back any moment. So I'm just gonna let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I have a baby asleep in the other room. So this may not be the most spectacular, amazing.
We can jump in and do the Cowboy corner part for you if you want to do the intro.
What do you mean?
Like when you can talk it all up and I can do the yell Cowboy corner. So I got a baby right here.
I love that. I love that. And he's not asleep. I love that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Cowboys fans, this is the biggest year of your life since 1995. This team has what it takes. This team's playing like it has what it takes. This team's playing championship football. We're talking Micah Parsons. We're talking Dak Prescott. We're talking CD Lamb. And you know what? We're even talking second string boys coming up and playing better or just as good as the first string. I mean, this team has lost several guys, and it's next man up. They're fighting. They're playing their best football in December. Dak is nearly flawless the last few weeks. This could be your Super Bowl winning.
Cowboy Corner.
That was so hype. I was literally sitting down there, crunched underneath my desk, and like, oh shit. I felt like I was about to be a WWE superstar right there, baby.
You're about to be Rey Mysterio popping up out of the stage.
Thank you. Did you like that? Did you like the little theatrics to it? Either way or not, some of the things I hope to God are true. God, if we could make it there, that'd be a dream come true. And I hope so, I love this week. This week was
Steelers
super
will
awesome.
meet you there.
What's that? Yeah, okay. Oh, can you? Sorry, Mitchell Trubisky. Now you want to have that one too? Either way or not, dude, I'm so stoked. Thursday night, back-to-back Thursday nights, kind of weird. Everybody thought, but super exciting. Still, we played a good team in the Seahawks at home. And you know what? This game was a little bit of everything. It was fun. It was exciting. It was sad. It was emotional because there was points in this game where we didn't look like we were about to probably lose. And DK, man, oh dude, hate that guy. I love actually,
So
you know what?
good.
I lied. I really like DK, but to do it on us Cowboys, fuck, man, come on. You could have done, haven't been doing shit all season, but you want to go do 3 tutties on us? That sounds nice. I appreciate it. Either way or not, we got the job done against a good team. I wouldn't say they're a really, really good team, but they are still a good team. They're a hard, tough loss. And what's up, dude? Just like he's cheering too. That's what I'm talking about. I was a Cowboys fan deep down.
Can
baby.
I just say, I love those Seahawk jerseys. I love when they.
Oh, they're so cool.
Yeah.
No hate. Love the Seahawks jerseys. Those were pretty sick. And honestly, it was just an exciting game. We came down to Dak playing lights out on offense to get us down the field. CD still just pushing on forward. Jake Ferguson having a really, really good game. Dude, it just even Tony Pollard finally kind of a little bit started to come out of his shell. We loved to see that because I got him in fantasy and he hasn't been doing shit all year, man.
He was running mean.
Yes. And I think it's time, dude. He should get pissed off. He hasn't been doing shit. He's been unproductive. And I think at this point, like, dude, I want to see more. And it's this late. It's in December. Good. Keep this momentum rolling through. That's what we want to see. So ended up I was thinking it was like 41-35. It's nice to kind of get in that position to where we were back on top towards the end of the game. We did it late in the fourth quarter, but nonetheless, our defense gets it done. Michael Parsons gets that last sack just to seal the deal. Man, that felt great. What up, homie? I love that he's so happy during this segment. This makes me even more happy. And you know what? You guys said it earlier. You alluded to it earlier. The best thing, not even the Cowboys win didn't do it for me, but watching the Eagles get fucking smacked by the 49ers made me feel great. Because guess what, bitch? You laughed at me when it happened to us. All those little Eagles fans were laughing at us. You're literally in the same predicament. And this week we play you, and we look like a better team right now than you. So let's fucking go. And it's in our house, and I'm so stoked. I am ready for this game because I think it's like it could be the turning point for our season. This would make me be like, yes, we can win the Super Bowl. We can beat them. Yes, we can get there. We just have to get past the 49ers at that point.
Quick question from the two of us. So it seems as that your offense is carrying. What happened to your defense? Now, I didn't get to watch it. I was dealing with Mr. Cross, but what happened? All I tuned in and I was like, the Cowboys about to actually lose this game? I was like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden I looked at it and I was like, okay, they pulled it out. But what happened to your defense? Allowing 41, you said, points?
Great plays on the offensive side and just bad coverage and just not at the right place, wrong time. I think Deron Bland for getting all his hype that he's still been playing lights out, still having a good year, got lit up the first half. Had 136 yards on him, I think 2 TDs. And can we just be blank and honest? Deron Bland is not a big guy. DK Metcalf is a fucking man-child. I can't believe, by the way, he's been in the league, I think, 4 or 5 years. And he is just as old as some rookies that are playing right now.
Isn't he 25?
Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah, he's young.
Behind, bro. He's young. And he's so big. And it just, honestly, they got us on that. And
not fair.
I think you started seeing Geno come back alive. And they're running back. What's his name? He's a rookie. He's new.
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Zach Charbonnet.
He actually
went to Michigan.
Really good. He played really
Shut up.
good that game. We fuck you, Michigan. Anyways, so they just honestly they just played us well, and our defense, it can't be like you guys and the Steelers, where hey, that's our ride or die. Like it's either this or nothing, because we won't win games, and as you can
Yes,
saw,
sir.
we won't win games. But it was our offense that kind of lit it up, and I really love seeing all this love for Dak right now, because being a Cowboys quarterback is like being anything in the New York sports, right? We talk a lot about New York sports being very harsh to their fucking teams and their players. If you're a Cowboys quarterback, that's a very, very hard role to fill. And if you're not being successful in it, you're going to get reamed by Cowboys fans. They're mean to you, right? And then you get people like Stephen A. Smith now who have changed their mind and done this stuff. Like, it is awesome to see him playing good too. We needed that. Yeah.
Did you hear the Jerry Jones interview? Actually, I don't want to start with that. I want to start with Micah.
Yeah, what up?
I don't know if you probably don't, but Micah has a podcast.
Yes, I know.
With Bleacher Report,
yes.
And that man talks a lot.
He's so funny. He talks a lot,
but he's talking too much. His latest comment was that he could play quarterback better than Brock Purdy or Tua if he had Debo or Tyreek as his wide receivers.
At the end of the day, everybody knows it's ridiculous. We think the same thing when Alex does some stupid shit, right? The one different thing is, at the end of the day, the one thing that Alex has is confidence. We may not believe him and we may think he's stupid, but he full-heartedly believes that he could do that. And Micah's the same way. And you know what's the one common denominator between the two of Alex and Micah? Maybe not as successful, but still successful. Yes, and that too. But no. Still like very successful men. They're driven in what they're doing in their craft. And I think at the end of the day, that's called passion. Right? Passion for the game of football, passion for what it is. And stupid comment. Yeah, he could probably do it. I think he could do better on the Jets than fucking Wilson, but I'm not sure about it. Brock Purdy, dude, you can put me in that system and somehow I'm going to get the job fucking done.
Hey, watch out. You might be talking about the MVP. I don't want to hear that fucking shame on him, okay?
He's still playing good. And when he doesn't play good, it shows, right? It shows in the offense and stuff like that. But like really hypothetically, when you have Debo, you have Ayuk, you have Kittle, and you have McCaffrey. That any quarterback that's starting right now in the NFL could probably go in that team and make a difference. Shit, I think Zach Wilson could go in there and be a different quarterback than who he is now. And I think Kyle Shanahan's another really good part of that, right?
This is going to sound crazy, but the hot take on that is the crutch of that team is Kyle Shanahan in big moments.
Yeah, but it's a little bit, right? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to like, hey, are you winning those close games or are you getting blowouts? Most of the 49ers like wins against good teams are blowouts. Like he fucks them up. But like if it comes down to a clutch win, he doesn't get it done.
That's true. Micah Parsons, if you are listening to this right now, I think you should hire my friend Justin to be your PR person, because that was a very beautifully orchestrated defense to that question. But my second question is back to your boy Jones. Mr. Jerry was
not my boy.
Okay, your owner
yes,
was
owner.
Interviewed. So basically, some anonymous head coach has been leaking to insiders that they believe that the officiating in the league is so bad that it's at a point where if Roger Goodell and the league office aren't going to do something about it, the owners themselves need to vote on something to do something about these rules.
Boys, I got puked on. I'll be back.
Of course he did. And so Jerry, of course, was asked about this as a very prominent owner, about his thoughts on the owners doing something. And he basically brushed it off. And I don't want to like quote him because I listened to it early this morning on my drive into work. But essentially he was like, look, if myself as an owner and another owner are agreeing to the terms of this game being officiated by someone who might get some, calls wrong or might, he was basically like, well, if all the owners are okay with the officiating possibly being bad, then it's fine. It is what it is. is kind of how it came across. Is he didn't think there was any need to change anything with the officiating, and that as long as all the owners are just under the assumption that, hey, this game could get ruined by human error or someone making a blind call, then that's okay, because that's what it is. And so as soon as I heard that, it brought me back to Alex saying what he said last week about, oh, I'm going to be happy no matter what, and this, and then and my thought after that was, well, the Cardinals are taking him out. And now after hearing Jerry Jones's interview, my thought is the Cowboys could have their season end by a very controversial ref call or non-call after Jerry is like, hey, it is what it is if that's how our games are decided.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I get what you're doing. Chris, always sparking a little bit, trying to get a little under my skin. But I think my best part is there any right way to answer that question? No matter who you are, one gets one way, one gets the other way. And you're really in a bad spot, especially as an owner, where you not only have to please fans, but you have to please the NFL, right? You're kind of in a pickle situation. And honestly, that comment to me, this is the most neutral way to say, hey, this is what we have and this is what we're dealing with in layman's term. But
so I look at it as Jerry is probably the most untouchable owner in the NFL.
For sure.
He can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
If he has, and he's shown over the years that when he has something to say, he's got no issue saying it, no matter who it's about.
But after the last few, he hasn't really had much. I think the last thing he really said something on and made a stance on was when everybody was kneeling for the flag. But he's not as vocal as what he used to be.
Well, I mean, it's an entire range of things. I mean, even just saying, making comments about who he's willing to pay or not, back when the whole Zeke stuff, he's always had no issue being honest and open. Yeah. And we also have the history of things like the catch with Dez and different things where it's the refs clearly fucked you. And these are moments that the fans are still holding, vitriol for in their hearts. And at the end of the day, how are you going to feel when you're driving down the field to go to the Super Bowl and the ref either makes a bullshit call or something very blatant happens that the ref doesn't call, and now you lose that game? Are you still oh, it is what it is, the officiate? At what point do you realize that the people who are lining your pockets with money are getting sick and tired of the refs ruining games, but you're
the refs
sitting
fucking
there
suck.
Okay with it?
They're always trash. They're never going to be a good thing until the NFL actually fucking pays them. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but fuck the refs. They get too involved in too many fucking games.
I love how you just come in here not knowing nothing in anything, but still making your voice heard. Thank you.
I agree with his sentiment.
Back to
because to point this out, what was horrible, because
I'm ready to respond.
But listen, just remember the Sunday night game, Packers Chiefs.
Too much involvement from the fucking refs.
The refs or not enough in some. They were either too involved or not involved enough, because on that final drive for the Chiefs,
Chiefs privilege is a thing with the refs.
The Chiefs privilege is a thing with the refs, but they did not get it on that final drive. That final drive,
the Patrick Mahomes call.
Okay, stop.
No, not the Patrick Mahomes call.
Both of you, you're asking me a question. We can get into this shit at a fucking another debate, and I understand all the things to it. And
you mean the pass interference call?
The non-pass interference call.
At the end of the day, yes, at the moment it hurts. When Dez caught it happen, it hurt. But you know what? You get up and get over it, because there's nothing you can fucking.
No, fuck the refs.
And Alex,
no, here's my prediction.
I'm not done. Both of you. Let me say my piece. At the end of the day, yes, I do think there does need to be changes within refs and how that's all handled. We don't think it's fair. We already have agreed on all this, right? But right now, if that happens, ain't nothing you can do. It sucks dick. You're going to be frustrated. But really, what the fuck can you do? Can you go be a ref and make a difference of this right now? Can you do that, Alex? You don't run the fucking NFL. Chris, can you do that? So what is, me as a fan, I'm gonna get up and go over it because at the end of the day, I can't do anything. Do I wish Jerry may use his power to be able to do some things like that? Yeah, but that's not my
Yes.
decision. That's
This is the
like
kind of sheepdog mentality that's gonna make the refs keep doing what they're doing. We don't give a fuck what the
not a
NFL
sheepdog.
says. We don't give a fuck what the refs are doing. Pay them more and make them do more training. And if they fucking call a bad game, write them up and fire their ass. When was the last time you heard a fucking NFL ref getting fired? I haven't.
Alex,
No, I haven't either.
I do agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with your statement. Let's just refrain from that. All you really want from this, Chris and Alex, get off your soap opera for a second, is do you wish Jerry Jones would do something about it? Yeah, for sure. But like, it's his place, his decision. I mean, but at the end of the day, you can't control somebody to also do those things, right? And if it's something where who knows what's even tied, maybe they're tied into it. It's everything's a script, everything's done this, there's so much controversy, there's so much this.
Oh, I don't actually believe
happens,
that,
right? At the end of the day. But I'm good about talking through the Cowboys corner. I'm over talking about these refs because at the end of the day, Alex is going to go into it and we can talk about it later because we have a big game where the refs really did fuck somebody over and in big calls. So we can talk about that later. Alex,
Okay.
I know you had a little bit of the steel mill, but you had a baby with you. And so you really, really couldn't get deep into it. And we really just honestly ate at you. But I wanted you to sit in it. I wanted you to feel it because like you did to me. And it's your turn to just put in your hat, stamp on in, do all those fun things that you do to get ready to go to work because this is a really sad week. It's raining, it's wet, it's cold.
I'm not talking
and
about the game,
you just
we're talking about
got a loss, bro, to the Cardinals. Sad. Coming off a loss, going into a new week. I get it. Positive mentality. Last week, you were way optimistic. Chris, do you remember how optimistic this man was?
Yeah, I mean, incredibly optimistic, happy, said he was going to be a positive fan. And I think he sprained that a little bit. I think that confidence got a little bit of an ankle sprain.
Yeah, he got a little bit of an ankle sprain. He had to have a minor surgery. But you know what happens after a minor surgery? There's recovery. Okay. And that's what we're in right now, boys. We are in the recovery stage. You know, did we have the best showing? No.
No.
Could our offense, okay, before you talk, there's a media section where we ask questions. You can talk there.
It wasn't a question.
There's a media. If you want to keep doing this, I will make sure that you get no questions asked today. So what I'm saying is our team didn't show up the best light. I don't want to blame the weather because the Cardinals were doing just as good with the weather delays. So it's hard to be like, oh, both teams were having a tough time when the Cardinals weren't, right? And so it's like, well, the team that you would think would have the more tough time would be the sunny Arizona team, right? That doesn't deal with this type of weather all the time. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. Unfortunate James Conner. I love James Conner. I even love him on the Cardinals. He, cancer survivor, great story, coming to Pittsburgh, doing great things, and then he wanted too much money, and we don't pay. Not what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They don't pay unless you're fucking defense. Or Big Ben. That's the two people that we pay.
So you either have to play defense or rape women.
One more outburst like that from you, motherfucker, and you're done. Okay. Just want to let you know.
Understood.
You're on thin,
Last one.
ice. You're on thin ice.
I promise.
Okay. And we didn't want to see that, but there's always next week, and that's what we're playing for now. So we're playing for not to lose out. I think that's what we're going for right now. Is our positive mentality as Mitchell Trubisky has been at least a starting quarterback in the league. Successful? No. Starting? Yes. So he has some game time under his belt, better than like a backup quarterback who's never seen the field. I would argue probably better. So I don't know. It's a all looking up from here. We need Justin. I know you've been saying this since the beginning of the year. I know you've been preaching this since the beginning of the year, and I've been defending him. But I think it's time to get rid of Deontay Johnson. This man celebrates a touchdown after being fucking down fucking 10 to 24 or whatever the fucking score was. I'll be honest with you. After all the delays and how bad we were playing, I stopped watching. It was hard to tune in for 20 minutes, get absolutely clobbered to then go to a rain delay for an hour. And it was like, this sucks. Like, I hate this feeling of like my team absolutely getting smashed and then going to a rain delay. So I stopped watching. And then I saw that fucking highlight of him dancing after, oh, we fucking scored. Good for you. Like, you need to get off the team. This is not the type of mentality that we need on the team if we're going to have a turnaround like season, especially with Kenny Pickett not there.
Dude, good. I'm glad you got into that. Alex, at this point, one thing that you were mad about at the beginning of the season was that your team doesn't get good draft capital because you guys always end bad. Well, is this not just the perfect excuse to lose and get that draft capital that you kind of preached earlier? I mean, I just want to know your thoughts on that.
So this is the double-edged sword of it's so nice to have a winning streak of never having like a losing season, basically since I've been alive. And it's hard to like want to let that go, but sometimes good things have to come to an end. Belichick has to retire from the Patriots. Brady has to retire from the league. Not all good things can stay forever. And I think it might be time for a defeated season. I don't think Mike Tomlin's the option to leave yet. I think he gets another year or two. He is like, he's founded himself in like, hey, you've built a winning program, but go win a Super Bowl and let's build around you for 2-3 years. Let's redo this. Because if you don't get someone like Ben Johnson or maybe even I'll be honest with you, I was shocked to see how good the fuck is it Bieniemy is doing at the Commanders. Like, it's his offense over there. Like, that the fact that he's doing so good, it's like, okay, cool. That if you can get like someone like that, an offensive guru. We've been such a defensive minded coach that you just get a good defensive coach in there, like a DC. Bringing in I think it might be time for the Steelers to get an OC kind of head coach person, so that we can just let our DC do what our DC does and actually absolutely smack around. But I think it might be time to maybe go offensive route. This league isn't a defensive league anymore. You can have such a good defense and still lose every game. Defense doesn't always win championships now. I mean, look at the fucking Cowboys. Your defense didn't show up, but your offense was able to support them, right? Your offense was able to like, hey, defense, we got you. Like, they're going to help you out in the long run. But with the way that everything's set up in today's like game, it's hard to have a really solid foundation defense, not lose key pieces. Like, we lost Micah for a couple weeks, TJ for last year. It's like, if you lose these key pieces, like, you guys got like lucky next man up with when Diggs went out, right? But if you lost Diggs for the year and like you had some random person back there that like just didn't step up, it's like, well, that defense just went to shit. Not shit, but like that secondary half of that secondary went to shit. And so it's rough with that defense if that's all you're gonna be, and that's kind of all we always have been. But it's fun to see. I don't know. It's fun to see the Steelers struggle. I haven't ever been part of a struggle organization before, and it's kind of fun if it doesn't happen for too long.
Understood.
Because with struggle comes growth. You know, you can't have growth without a little bit of pain. Chris, what's your question?
How many more years is Kenny Pickett a Steeler?
So 31st pick in the draft. He's on year 2. It's hard to say, right? Like, it's like he almost has a worse version of a Kirk Cousins vibe to him. You know what I mean? Where it's like Kirk Cousins, he's been in the league for so long, but he just fucking finds a way to win. Does he always win the big games? Kinda. Like, Kirk Cousins is kind of like known.
Well,
like,
not the primetime big games.
Not the primetime big games, but like when it's a close game and he needs a win for his team. Like, how many times has Kirk Cousins led a team to the playoffs? Has he done anything in the playoffs? That's a different question. But how many times has he actually led them to a playoffs and like actually done something to where you might have a chance with Kirk Cousins versus like somebody like even who the fuck, like, he had a Zach Wilson for a while, right?
So are you happy with a Kirk Cousins on the Steelers?
That's the question, man. I don't like, the thing that's crazy is even if we did go like 7-9 this year, we still would miss out on all the quarterbacks like in the draft. So there's
a
really,
lot of them though.
There's a lot of them, but 7-9 would put you still a little below middle of the pack. Maybe a 15th pick, maybe a 14th pick. Like, it's not going to put you much lower than that. And by that point, any quarterback that you'd really want to use a first round draft pick on would be gone. Drake May is going to be out of there. Williams, if he goes in, is going to be out of there.
He's going.
I mean,
he ain't playing in the bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, you maybe can steal a Sam Hartman that late, right? But do you want a Sam Hartman? He didn't look the best at the end of the season, right?
Yeah, I think you're getting another Kenny Pickett with him.
Yeah, he started off super strong, but he just didn't really fully finish that. So it's like when you look at these like teams, these quarterbacks that are coming out, because who else do you have? Do you have Duke's quarterback coming out?
Yes.
You have
possibly JJ McCarthy. We'll see.
I would take a JJ McCarthy.
What you're saying too is like you don't necessarily need that. Like, I mean, I think Ben was a first round, and you guys got lucky on that one from Miami, Ohio. But like, I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks that are fourth round, fifth round picks. I mean, you think about Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, people who are starters and considered MVP candidates this year that were not selected in the first round.
The thing is, didn't you have Tony Romo when you picked Dak?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a franchise quarterback right now for us to pick like that.
Find those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, those fourth or fifth round QBs, and like unless you get like a Caleb Williams or like a whatever person that you think is going to be the best person ever, you might be able to steal like a fourth or fifth round quarterback that might just be like a backup, whatever, right? Cheap. It's going to be cheaper than maybe like a backup quarterback that's pretty good, right? But then do you want a two rookie? But then at the same time, do you want a two rookie system in a quarterback room? Is that really what you want? Is two rookies back there trying to learn from each other when you guys haven't played on the NFL field team anymore? Is like, do you really want to use that as a third spot?
Would you be happy with a Justin Fields if Chicago was wanting
Chicago
to trade?
Pittsburgh Justin Fields, please. Let's get out here. I understand that. But what's the alternative? Keeping Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, you're doing tomato. Like, we've seen what Kenny Pickett can do for us. He can win the big games, but you haven't seen what like a Justin Fields. Sure, he's a little inaccurate, but who the fuck is his head coach? Maybe he gets to Mike. That's the one thing I do love about Mike Tomlin. You get him somebody, and he's not going to allow him to like do whatever they want to. And if they try to do that stuff, I wouldn't be surprised Deontay Johnson's gone next year. Wouldn't shock me.
Should be gone.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't shock me if he's gone, and maybe that's where we get a good draft capital from. He's a pretty good wide receiver.
With the Steelers wide receivers just not taking their pills?
I have no idea. Like
they all go crazy.
They all do. They're all so fucking good for like the second season, and then all of a sudden they get crazy. Like, it's like really weird. Like, Johnson had a pretty good rookie sophomore year. Pickens had a great rookie campaign for himself. And then, he's kind of slowed down this year. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I would love a Chicago Justin Fields. I would love I don't know who else is out there that would like be willing to trade,
It'd be on the move this
Cousins. I mean, sure, I would take a Cousins. Like,
Cousins.
Maybe you get a Cousins and you pay. He's gonna take less because there's no way Cousins is gonna be able to get the money that he got from Minnesota. So he's gonna have to take a team friendly deal, most likely. You get Cousins on a team friendly deal. You go and draft that third, fourth rounder to sit behind him for 2 years. Then maybe that veteran can like coach him up a little bit. And if you find that diamond in the rough, that allows us to do that 2-3 year rebuild. That would be fine. But if we stay with Kenny Pickett, I don't want a 2 through second, third, fourth, fifth round like draft quarterback because it doesn't do anything for us learning from Kenny Pickett.
That's just not your quarterback. That's just not a face like
he's not our quarterback right now.
Yeah.
I think he has one more year. So I go back to your question, Chris. I think it's one more year. I think this year.
Next year is his
if
do or die.
If the cards don't fall right, maybe we do get like the 12th round pick, and maybe we can steal like one of these quarterbacks that other teams maybe just don't need right now because the top teams usually draft their quarterbacks, right? Like, I mean, who do you have down there? You have Chicago, who's probably going to take a quarterback. You have Carolina. They're not taking a quarterback. They got Bryce Young. Like, they're going to ride or die with that. Like,
Cardinals,
they're not. The Cardinals aren't going to take a quarterback, right? Like, you got a couple teams down there. You got a couple teams down there, and then you got some teams that are like good. Like, even if like the Houston goes on a losing streak the rest of the season, they're still super young. It could still happen. They're not taking a quarterback, They got CJ Stroud. Like they're not picking a court. Like there's a couple teams that if they stay down there at the bottom, like the Bucks are down there, they might take one, but I think they're pretty happy with Baker. But like we need a quarterback, and I don't know what it is. If it's a Kirk Cousins, if it's a trade, if it's a Chicago Justin Fields, or if it's trying to go through the draft again. But we need something. Our division is too fucking good to be like having not a quarterback.
Yeah, if you guys don't go after a good quarterback, you're essentially just giving up your division because your division is stouted with talent, and then you can even the Browns would have the worst quarterback in that selection, right? Out of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, then it's Deshaun Watson, and then
I mean, like, but like the no matter what you say about the guy, the person of Deshaun Watson, the play talent of Deshaun Watson. Between Kenny Pickett and Deshaun Watson is a leap and a bound difference of play. Like it's just different. Like it's not the same caliber. And you have that across the board with Joe Burrow, with Lamar Jackson. We'll see how Browning did. Fucking, I just found out Browning had like 91 passing touchdowns in his high school. What the fuck is that about? He won
his career.
No, his senior season.
No way.
Look it up.
Where did he fucking go?
I have no idea. I saw some TikTok. Maybe the TikTok lied to me. 91 fucking passing, or like.
There's no way.
Maybe
that has to
touchdowns?
Be his career. That has to be his career. There's no way in a single season he has 91.
No, look at Browning. I think it's his senior.
Bullshit. Can we make a bet on this?
Yeah, let's make a bet.
Okay, Justin, I think he is looking that up for us.
Yep, don't say anything yet.
Slap bet.
Sure, slap bet. Next time we see each other, someone gets to slap the fuck out of somebody.
Deal. But hold on. But the deal. I'm betting that the 91 touchdowns is not his senior year.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna give me? Like, what if it's like an 87? Is that like?
I'll give you a.
Like, can I get like
a 5 touchdown range?
5 touchdown? Can I get a buffer of like 10? Like, even if it's 81, that's insane still.
Okay, I'll give you a buffer of 10 because I still agree.
I'm pretty sure it was 91. Like I don't know.
In 1 year.
Down for a slap bet.
That's not no.
Have you guys agreed on this, or we're
agreed on it?
I agree.
Okay, well, this is the best thing ever because Alex Nguyen, he had 91 touchdowns in 2014. He threw setting national records for 91 touchdowns in 2014. In 3 seasons, he threw 229 touchdowns. He completed 1,191 times for 16,775 yards and 229 TDs throughout his career in the state of California. He set records his senior season also with yards, doing 5,790 yards, breaking his own record he set the year before, and he had 91 touchdowns that season. And he had 60 touchdowns this season.
Wait, okay. Is it 91 total or 91 passing?
It doesn't fucking matter, period. And
I just want to know.
91 touchdowns.
That's probably rushing and
his
passing.
Senior season, he went 360.
So what division did he play?
He played Division I for California. He played in California Division I football. He threw only.
Where did he go to college?
He went to UW.
Oh, that's right. He did go to UW. He was not good though. He was okay. He wasn't 91 fucking touchdowns in a season. Like good. Obviously, there's a step up from high school to Division I college, but
91 passes and 7 interceptions, 91 passing touchdowns.
He did really good. In 2015, I remember this. He played in 2015, and they were really good that year. He played 12 of the 13 games, and he had the 5th most yards in UW history.
That's not saying anything. UW is a nobody school up until the last year.
Bro, he had 10 touchdowns in his first start in his senior year.
In 2016, he was Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year. He finished 6th in Heisman Trophy voting. And
was Browning the team that lost to ASU when they were on that undefeated season?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. And I do remember him sitting there like, what the fuck happened?
Yep. Right here.
Crazy.
It's in 2017 when they had that year and they lost.
Oh, he went to Folsom. That's a big high school.
Folsom High School.
Yeah, it's a big high school. That's
that is insane. 91 in a season. I mean, that is
lapped on top of it.
Crazy.
So not only did you just lose the bet, but you just realized that someone could throw 91 touchdowns in a season. And we're not on this game, but I would like to talk about this game because I found something out.
Interesting. Crazy. Oh, hold on. Before you go there, any last questions on the steel mill?
No, I don't care about you guys anymore.
Okay, calm down. I give you your due time.
Okay, but real quick before we move on, the reason why I thought that was ridiculous is I just saw a TikTok yesterday, and it was going through their senior year stats of all the rookie NFL quarterbacks this year, and all of them touchdown wise, like the top guys were throwing like 25 touchdowns this season. So to hear 91, it was like that.
When I heard
that, can't. If this guy is putting up 25 his senior year, there's no way 91's even possible.
Well, do you know Brock Purdy had like 54 touchdowns his senior year, and his junior year as well, or something like that, and they lost to fucking Chandler High in the finals both times.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That sucks. Like
specifically,
Chris. You asked if it was just passes. It was 91 touchdown passes.
That's insane.
That's insane. He holds every single California high school record.
Why did he go to Washington?
You said he completed. Well, to be fair, when he went to Washington, they did have a couple almost undefeated.
On anything that's not Big Ten, you're a fucking snob. So
no, I'm not a snob.
Yes, you are.
I mean, no, I can. No, I have respect for programs outside of the Big Ten. Washington,
not in the Pac-12.
No, that's not true. I respect USC. I think USC has the potential to be a.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're gonna respect the only fucking standing team in the. They have the Rose Bowl. Isn't that their stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just likes history. He doesn't care. Like Oregon,
no. I respect. They have natties, and they have the clout in college football. Now, I don't think it's going to happen under this douchebag that's running the team, but the school has the potential to be a blue blood powerhouse in college football.
You see history. Is that what you're
saying? They
saying?
have the potential. Well, yeah. What I'm saying is. There's schools, there's programs that it doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't matter. The program is so significant to college football that they have the ability to pull in 5-star recruits and be a contender. USC, even though they look horrible this year, is a program like that. There's other programs like the Oklahoma Sooners. They might not be very good this year, but their program has the capability of pulling in 5-star recruits every year. Doesn't matter who's in charge of it, and they can be contenders. Washington just hasn't been that school. And so obviously I understand that top guys go to all sorts of schools, but I'm just surprised that you put up 91 throwing touchdowns in the state of California in Division I, and you're not getting some sort of crazy offer to go to a Bama or something. You're muted, Alex.
I get what you're saying, and I think at the end of the day, there is a little bit of snobbishness. It's not, no offense, I get what you're saying, but like you look, there's something that you look for particular in college football.
Washington just isn't a blue blood. Is what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. But that could be said for almost everybody except USC in the Pac-12. That could be said for any MAC, MAC, all these different ones. There's so many different divisions, but when you really think of blue blood teams, you think of teams in the Big Ten or the SEC, and that's really it. I mean, the Big 12. No, just have Texas.
They don't have them anymore, but they got
But like they're in the SEC now, so at the end of the day, this
I would have understood a Texas, an Oklahoma.
Think about that. I just thought it was cool.
Both going to the fucking SEC.
That is crazy, though.
But you were talking about like crazy stats, and did you know actually Bijan Robinson went to South Point in Tucson, Arizona?
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. I was shocked. I was like, what the frick? Did he really? And he did. Because he brought all his family to the game this week, and the reporter said He brought all his family from Tucson,
South
Arizona.
Point Catholic.
South Point Catholic. And I said, no way they came from. Like, who's in Tucson? His mom? And then I looked, and he was born there. Born there, grew up
Bajan
there.
Robinson.
South Point Bajan Robinson.
Wow.
Crazy. And like, I think he was like right past us. So we had graduated. And then I think a couple years later, he started playing. So we would have probably missed that kind of spirit. But it's just crazy. No, I did not know that.
South Point
Another
Catholic can
Arizonian.
produce.
They were good at
produced
that
a couple
time too.
people.
Right when we were getting out of high school, they started getting really good.
Yeah, they did.
You know what? Maybe I seen him on Max Preps or something at the time when they used to do that high school
Maybe
thing. But who knows? At the end of the day, still thought that was crazy. But hey, guys, we've already been talking so long about all our stuff, and I would really like to get through some of these games so we can have time to talk about the in-season tournament basketball. By the way, getting heated up
in season, it's getting crazy.
Yep. But hey, you guys can talk.
Is it really though?
Chris, shut up.
Negative Nelly, you do that again, you're thinner ice than you were before.
There's a ton of games that we can talk to, and I think when we talk just about Bajan Robinson and the Falcons, that was an ugly game, and I think an ugly game with that too was the Chargers and the Patriots. Both these games, no offense, all defense, and just gross.
How does Staley have a fucking job?
I don't.
He's obviously staying until the end of the year. They're not firing him
How?
mid-season.
Why? But why?
I don't know.
Well,
There's no fucking point.
Yeah, but he sucks.
Yeah, he does.
Bro, he scored 6 points.
Okay, that's a Kellen Moore issue.
That's a Staley issue.
No, Staley had 0 points because he's a defensive guy.
Okay, you're done.
Yeah, but
I'm
0
just
points
saying,
against a
it's-
really bad offense.
I think both of this is a little bit of everything, right? They hired bad hires. Just like remember when the Broncos hired Vance Joseph and it's shit their organization for a little bit. Same thing here, man. You got a situation where you hired
Vance Joseph.
probably wasn't the good guy for it. And between Kellen Moore and Staley, both of them aren't looking like they're doing anything. So
yeah, but I guess I'm with you at this point. Who the fuck are you hiring if you're not gonna get the OC from fucking the Lions or
Dan Quinn with Cowboys.
yeah, but yeah, he's not going anywhere. Like
You guys keep saying that.
well, he's not going
I sincerely don't believe he's going anywhere.
I hope so,
possibly. I don't
The
want it to
Patriots?
be true, but possibly a Harbaugh NFL return. Although I heard that if he does return in the NFL, the Bears will not be one of the places he's interested in.
why?
I don't know. That's just the leaked rumors that he's not interested in the Bears. But I don't know. You get some people who are saying he's staying, some people who are thinking he's going, but he's a possibility.
I mean, you have so many teams that are going to need a coach. It's like,
Yeah, it feels that way. Belichick, he may be done with the Patriots, but I don't think he's done coaching.
he's not done coaching. I mean, I think Commanders set themselves up perfectly to take Bieniemy because we all know Rivera's gone this year. There's no possibility he's not.
Yeah.
And so it almost felt like Bieniemy was coming over for that first year with the new owners, like get everything set. Maybe this guy could be it, right? Okay, we're gonna take him.
After the Harbaugh report, it was then reported that the Bears are interested in Bieniemy as well.
Of course. I mean, I don't know why Bieniemy. I understand why Bieniemy hasn't got some more like coaching clout because it was all maybe this is Andy Reid's massive brain when it comes to offense.
Well, they did crap.
But it really well, yes, this week. But
I think Matt
he
Nagy
has?
kind of ruined part of it for him because he was the offensive coordinator first, and then he went to the Bears and absolutely sucked. And that's
Yeah.
when Bieniemy took over. And so maybe people are like, okay, it's just Andy Reid down there.
Yeah.
But also you get people who say that Eric Bieniemy has a very weird, intense personality. And, you know, you might find that someone's really qualified to do a job, but if you don't feel like your personalities mesh well, are you really motivated to hire them?
I don't want to be that guy, but we've seen from Dan Campbell, he's probably very football smart, but those offense and defense are ran by the coordinators. He is purely there to make sure that his team is led. Like he is the leader of he's probably has the influence and stuff like that, but you can tell with Dan Campbell though, it's working. Like maybe you just
he definitely has input on the plays
defense?
for the offense.
Often, I mean, he was a tight end, right? So it's like, yes, cool, but you can tell, but more often than not, he is just the leader. Like, this is going to be our leader. We're going to follow this guy into a brick wall. He says jump. I say how high. Maybe you just need that at some point on a team, you know? And maybe you don't always need the guy who's the most football smart person in the game. Like, you don't need a McDaniels or a fucking Kyle Shanahan that's just so crazy smart with plays and everything. Maybe you just needs a guy who can lead.
I forgot about McDaniels.
And somebody who can fucking who can just play call for you, and somebody who can run a defense. Because at some point, doesn't that all you need as a head coach is to be able to lead a game and control like the management of the game?
That's fair. Do you think McDaniels goes back to the Patriots, or do you think well, actually, I think it'd be stupid for him to go and get another job head coaching, because I don't know if it would conflict with the rest of his buyout. He may still be entitled to that money.
See, that's what I'm saying. Go get
do a head coaching.
Yeah, you go grab someone like him as your offensive coordinator, dude. He's not the head coach anymore. He doesn't got to make those calls. He's just got to call the plays.
Right. Yeah.
He's good at that. We saw him do that in New England. We know it wasn't Belichick calling plays over there.
Right.
Like, we know it was him. So it's like, you know. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see, because you have so many, and then you have Carolina open up. I mean, the Colts.
Ryan Day's rumored to be trying to get into the NFL. Obviously, he's afraid to play Michigan again, so he's trying to run back to the NFL, where he was a failed quarterbacks coach for 2 different teams, lasting 1 year each. So we'll see. Maybe he'll jump back.
You're done with talking about Oregon. I'm
not talking about Oregon.
Ohio State, whatever the fuck they're called. They're same team.
No.
Yeah.
Disrespectful as fuck. No,
you Big Ten snob. You Big Ten snob. What, you don't want to be compared to a Pac-12?
There's difference that don't disrespect the Ohio State.
They're in the same division. I bet you Oregon.
Snob about it, but Oregon and Ohio State. We're not just start getting in the same division.
I bet you Oregon beats Ohio State next year.
Teams.
I bet you Oregon beats Ohio State next year.
Okay, either way or not, you're so funny, brother. Well, you guys just went on your soap opera about coaches, and I'm glad you felt good. And
Colts Titans. I'm trying to get you on track. I'm sorry. Colts Titans, really fun game.
Talked about that. No, it wasn't.
The last 6 minutes was really fun.
I bet you and the 6 other people who were watching
backup quarterbacks sling it out into OT and get a win in OT. Yeah, I love that. Backup Gardner. No, just kidding. Honestly, it technically would be an exciting game. It did go in OT. It was actually a little bit more high scoring. But at the end of the day, both these teams don't mean shit. So it doesn't.
The Colts are fighting for the division.
7-5. Good. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Does it matter though? That division is horrible. You know, whoever wins that division, they're getting spanked in the playoffs.
And right now, the only reason they have a good opportunity at this point is because Trevor Lawrence just went down. They're fighting for the division between the Texans, who will clearly beat them, and the Jaguars, who before Monday night probably were going.
CJ Beathard, bro, come on, he can kind of he can go crazy.
So, did he win that game?
No, if I had that pass, if I had that pass from Calvin Ridley, this Yahoo fantasy score would be a different fucking ball game. Okay, big guy. But then we'll skip right to the primetime games. I guess we can skip
the biggest one I want to talk about. Really, all those other games were cool. Like the Texans, we kind of Texans Broncos game.
Yeah, it was fun.
But
that was fun. I understand it might have been kind of boring, but it was fun to see the end. Like the ending was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that was a really cool drive.
Fucking dude, he's just a beast. CJ Stroud, it's crazy. That's being an Ohio State fan, it is funny to see him be the one successful Ohio State quarterback, right?
True.
All these other people that have come through over the years, and some have been good on wide receiver. Like Braxton Miller wasn't a bad wide receiver in the league for a little bit. I think he actually played on the Texans.
Yeah, he did.
But no, I mean, besides that, it's nice to see him do it. But the big game I love to talk about is that 49ers-Eagles game.
Talk about a boring game.
At first this was not boring. It may look boring this way, but at the beginning, it was a fucking hell in a handbasket, bro. The fucking security got kicked out. Greenlaw got ejected. It turned to nasty fast. And this was a super physical game. And in Philly, of all places, crazy. It
Well, they
was
called it the funeral game. So, like, what do you expect after you call it the funeral game? Like,
But I like that good because I think it punched the Eagles in the mouth. They thought they're all high and mighty in their little homeland over there in Philadelphia. And the 49ers
I don't.
punched them in the throat.
I want to counter that. I don't think that the Eagles thought that. I think the fans thought they were high and mighty. I think the Eagles thought they were very beatable. Like if you listen to them talk about their team, they did not sound pleased with the way they've been playing. Like they almost were expecting to get beat eventually because of how they've been playing. Like they did not seem like they were having a good time playing with them. And it's funny to see the 49ers beat them. I would have just loved to see what the outcome would have been last year if he didn't get hurt. Like shoulda, coulda, woulda, but like it would just been fun to see what the outcome actually would have been.
I wonder how many fights broke out in that stadium after the game.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, even in the game, there was a ton of fights breaking out all over the place. It was mean. And you're right, the fans probably got more into it, but when the fans get into it, it makes your players pissed. And you don't think they're heckling them over on the sidelines. That's the one thing. Going to a Philadelphia game as any other opponent, dude, they're ruthless. It's like going to a Raiders game and not expecting the Raiders to fucking want to fight you or jump you. They're like the same way. It's intense. And so I like that they got the shit beat out of them at home. People were just
it was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
my favorite game this weekend.
Easy by far. I love it because I think again you just show it's beatable. Jalen Hurts goes down, which isn't great. I think that's bad for their team. Good for the Cowboys, bad for Jalen Hurts. So whatever this may bring this week.
Is he gonna play next week?
I think so. I don't know.
Because I understand, like, good for the Cowboys, but I just feel like the Cowboys want to beat. I feel like over the past 2 years, you almost need to play healthy. Because you played healthy the first game, right? Everybody, and you lost.
This game, yes.
Yeah, but
or this season.
But I would say
season
I would say Dak Prescott wasn't on this heater that he's been on lately. He hadn't started it yet, right? So when that game came about, that offense was still trying to find who they are after losing Kellen Moore. And now I would love to see the Cowboys actually play a healthy Jalen Hurts, because I think that they could beat them, but I just want to see like what it would actually be like. You'd hate to see like a fucking CJ Beth. I don't know who their backup is, but go in there and play the Cowboys, right? No, it's not what we want to see.
He's playing.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see it. It's gonna be a fun game. My favorite game was the Cowboys Seahawks game was actually a lot of fun watching the highlights. The game that I liked the most was the Green Bay Packers and the Chiefs.
Okay, why? I did not watch that game. I only saw pictures and videos of the sequence towards the end of the game.
Yeah. Yes.
First off, none of those teams can play either way, because if the Chiefs were mad about losing, they should never been in that position to lose in the first place. And
don't let the refs decide.
And at the end of the day, it seemed like there were bad calls for both teams in this situation.
Yes, the refs were atrocious.
What happened that last drive? What happened?
So the very last drive,
that one,
the Chiefs were not looking good. Yeah, give it to me.
It was as bad as the fucking who was that? The fucking Rams, like, pass interference.
On the Saints.
Yeah, they got called. It was pretty bad. Like it was, but it almost felt like it was a makeup game or a makeup call. To the call with Patrick Mahomes. It almost felt like they were trying to like
it probably was.
And it sucks to see that like the refs are like, cool, Patrick, like there's a couple things. I'm actually a fan of the Chiefs overall, right? I don't like that they're a dynasty, but they're a fun team to watch.
They're not a dynasty yet, but yep, go on.
Yeah, right. But they're going that way. They're trending. They're trending the way of the last 6 seasons. They've been the number one fucking overall seed in the AFC. They're trending the way of being a dynasty, right? And
absolutely.
It just sucks to see. I want them to be a dynasty if they are a dynasty, because they win games, not because they get like the Chiefs treatment on refs, right? If you've watched any fucking Chiefs game, Patrick Mahomes gets more fucking roughing the passer calls than any quarterback I've ever fucking seen. They touch him and he's like, oh my God, we got to protect the fucking face of the NFL. And then that call. He was clearly in bounds, wasn't giving himself up to out of bounds. And they're like, oh, nope, we're going to call it. And so it made it feel like they had to make that call up for the Green Bay Packers because of what they did and gave him 15, right? Sucks to say you got 15 on one play and then you would have gotten 30 on the next play, but what are you going to do?
I feel that I wouldn't be surprised if it was a makeup call. But the refs just like, why are they not getting fined? Why is there no punishment for basically putting your hands into a game and shaping the outcome? The refs should not be there to shape the outcome.
Why is New York not coming out and saying, don't fuck, that's not a great call? On calls that are clearly bad.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't New York come down and say, yes, we're not going to let you call that? Like on other calls that are like 50-50, refs take your whatever you want to choose in the moment, choose, right? But that's how you're going to ref the game. So every other instance like that where it's 50-50, you got to go this way, right? But when it's blatant calls, like if they turned back the Patrick Mahomes call and then gave him the pass interference, I'd be fine. It's like, yeah, that was pass interference, but that wasn't roughing the passer.
Right.
Whatever the fuck they called.
I agree. I would love if they could just automatically have New York jump in when they see fit. Because it is just getting ridiculous.
To actually have the authority to just be able to go, hey, no, this is actually what the call should be.
I just want some checks and balances because it feels like the refs are on like this like huge high pedestal and nobody can tell them that they've ever fucking called a game wrong in their entire life.
Right.
Otherwise they get hurt, or the NFL has like some pussy problem where it's like if you'd say that they're NFL refs that are fucking part-time and they have other jobs aren't doing the best, it's like, well, fuck yeah, they're not doing the best. You just fucking flew them to Arizona from Maryland after they worked a 45-hour a week job on a Sunday that they probably would rather be spending with their family to ref a game against the Arizona Cardinals and the fucking Steelers that's been delayed 6 times. Yeah, I would maybe not be the happiest to do it either. Like, I understand why, but fucking pay them full time. Get some training for them. Do something.
So to put I'm going to send you the clip, Justin, because I'm assuming you haven't seen it.
All the things
of the missed pass interference call.
I watched it all. I mean,
oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I was just.
I mean, the dude was literally.
But then you guys just went on a rant about the refs again. Here we are again talking about refs. Because at the end of the day, I was just curious because I saw those first two that we went clearly through, and then there was 2 other ones after that. There was 4 total missed calls on this play between the Hail Mary at the end and Travis Kelce in there, nothing being pass interference around there. And
I don't know if that was pass interference.
Between 2 that I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but it was another bad call.
They also wanted to try to call the Travis Kelce Hail Mary pass interference. I think they made a right call on that. I think Travis sold that a little too much. The hands didn't fully extend. They just are on the back. I think that was a right call. I know that, but like, once again, it's the Chief bias. Like, I think the Chiefs get the most fucking calls out of any other team in the NFL.
I feel like the Eagles this year are giving them a run for their money. It's pretty close. I would agree with you. The Chiefs in the past few years have been the number one, but this year I've noticed it the most with the Eagles. Besides for obviously the Chiefs technically deserving a flag on every offensive play because they false start like crazy.
Dude, it's fucking insane. I don't know how they didn't call that in the fucking game over and over and over again.
Yeah. The refs are just terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Justin. You hate when we rant, but the refs deserve it.
I don't mind rants. It's the 2-time rant.
The zebras.
The
what?
The 2-time rant. We already ranted about it before. Now we're ranting about it again.
Yes, okay, he doesn't like us ranting about it twice, so let's go third time's the charm.
The thing about
say that the refs suck.
The refs suck. But the thing about the refs is it's not if it was refs overall, it'd be a different story. It is just NFL refs. Hockey refs aren't that bad. They do miss some, but they're not horrible.
They're the best ones.
NBA refs, it depends on which crew you get, but they'll let you like play basketball unless your name is LeBron James. And then the baseball refs, it's really hard to like have a bad umpire, or the umps are probably the worst, but it's hard to have a bad ref in baseball, right? It's like, is it fair or not?
Umps are pretty bad with
the umps are pretty fucking bad, but with
usually first base and home plate, those two always usually suck because they're making the most calls.
And so it's like the umpire, but with the umpire, you understand that each ump's going to have a different strike zone. And if an ump calls the game the same way, I'm okay with that. I'm okay if you have a strike zone and every fucking ball on that corner is a ball or a strike. That's fine with me. It's when the inconsistencies start to happen of like, I don't know what it's going to be, right? Because now you can pitch around that. You can pitch around what that ump's going to do, unless you want like AI to come in and just make every fucking ball a strike or like a ball, whatever you want it to be, like whatever, like it's going to be like in real life. That's the part of the game that's kind of fun though, is you have a little bit of that, like, oh, the strike zone is going to be different for this. This NFL crew is going to ref a little differently. It's when you miss bad fucking calls and you make bad calls that actually depend the outcome of a game. That's when it's problematic.
Understood. Well, third time is a charm, and I'm super good. Only one that we have to talk about was poor Trevor Lawrence and his ankle. This changes everything for the
sad day.
And it happened just towards the end of the game. And Browning did look lights out in that game. He played a really good game. I was super surprised watching that game, being like, damn, this is fun.
Didn't he have like 350 yards passing or some shit like that?
Dude, yeah, he played good.
Played really. I don't know what his pass, but I saw a stat. I was like, damn. And Joe Mixon, that run. I don't know who is alongside Joe Mixon, but he was running hard. He was running hard.
Nice, man. He did play good, and that was the first time I seen him play good like that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Jay Browning went 354 yards, a single touchdown, but he went 32 for 37.
Yeah, he was playing fucking great.
So you think he starts somewhere next year?
No. I mean, you have to see this times two, right?
One game wonder.
Yeah, well, it could be like another Kenny Pickett situation, right? One game wonder, and then I'm just kidding.
Okay, calm down. The thing is, like you have like a Cooper Rush. He won 4 games for the Cowboys and no one picked him up. I don't think backup quarterbacks are like that. You would much rather take the possibility of hitting a gold mine with someone in the draft than someone that you know what you're going to get out of.
Okay, but there's a difference between Cooper Rush and Jake Browning. I mean, you said it yourself. The dude threw 91 touchdowns his senior year.
It's crazy.
He, Justin, do you happen to remember if you saw how many stars he was recruiting wise? I'm assuming he's a 5-star. He's a 4-star. Just a 4-star. I thought for sure he was a 5-star. 4 stars, super high. You said he is a Heisman finalist. Like, that is not Cooper Rush in any sense of the
You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
He's got the pedigree to get a shot.
He was drafted in 2019.
If he keeps playing like this.
He was undrafted in 2019, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time to be in the NFL to not have a chance at a starting position. I wonder how many times he's been on the practice squad, and this might be his first time just backing up somebody. I don't know where his career is, but undrafted in 2019.
Could you imagine throwing 91 touchdowns in Division I California high school ball and thinking, hey, I'm making the NFL. Yeah, but you're making it undrafted? Like, that's shocking. That's weird.
It's very, very interesting. That was a fun game. And then what's it called? What's his name? CJ Bethel or whatever the fuck his name is.
you butchered it like 3 times, and I've enjoyed each one of them, so I didn't want to correct you. It's Bethard.
CJ Butthead made a nice fucking throw at the end there. Like, unfortunately holding, but like that game could have been very, very different if one play would have went their way, and he had a nice ball on it.
He's definitely he's been a backup. He is a backup. He was a backup on the 49ers.
Yeah, he started some games, and I was like, oh, he actually did pretty good. And then they put his stats as a starting quarterback, and he's 2 for 10. I was like, maybe not that great, but he's a good backup. And it's been weird to see, bro. Now we have Browning, we have Butthard, We have fucking Mitchell Trubisky. Who else is the backup? We have Zach Wilson and the Jets and whoever the fuck they're putting in. A lot of backup quarterbacks playing this year. Very weird.
It was a really injured year by quarterbacks.
Well, and a lot of backup quarterbacks who don't want to play this year, if you believe the latest report on Zach Wilson.
I don't. I am a stand for Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, okay? And my man says he talks
Oh yeah, what did he say? Because I don't listen to that douchebag.
Talks to Zach every day.
Uh-huh.
It's not what he said. The media is out to get him and to get Aaron. And you would understand if you
see, if this was the first case of Aaron saying that the media is out to get him and whatnot, I would say, oh, okay, well then, yeah, they're making this up. But he has a habit of saying things and then being careful with his words with how he says them. So it totally implies what he's saying, but then when you call him out on what he's saying, you're magically twisting his words.
Fine,
so is this a case where Zach Wilson's words are magically getting twisted?
They are. And I'm gonna change the subject and go breaking news.
Okay. It better be good. What? You cut out. You cut out.
He can't even speak. So I'm glad he had breaking news because
what was the breaking news?
Oh, bro.
It's baseball. John Soto to the Yankees.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
He wasn't even that good this year.
Okay, well, he went to the Yankees. I want to talk about this in-season basketball tournament. That's what I've been itching to talk about this whole podcast.
Oh,
can't talk about it. It does nothing for me.
Dude, you're such a funny. You're such an old. If you were an old man, I would think you were born in 1945 and stuck in your ways.
I am not an old man.
My grandfather is.
No, I am totally for doing cool things. I wish that I am hip, guys. Okay, I'm down
so
with
cool.
it. Okay,
I'm down with
no
it.
cap. All right. No, I'm all for trying new things and trying to make the game more fun and enjoyable. I'll be positive. I enjoy the courts that they have for the in-season tournament. I think it's fun. It's different. It's great. The reason why the in-season tournament doesn't do it for me is what do you get out of it?
Know why it doesn't do it for you. You have to fucking think of something to hate. You want to hate anybody but the Big Ten so bad. You want to hate anybody.
This has nothing to do with college.
I think so too, Alex.
You want to hate anything that's new. You're like, oh
no, that's not true. Then why am I excited for next year when we expand the playoff? Why am I? Now I did that. Why am I excited for the Big Ten to be getting these 4 new schools? If I'm such a traditionalist, stuck in my ways, don't like anything new, why am I excited for those things? Why am I excited that the NFL has added another game or expanded their play? Like I'm cool with changes. I like new things.
I am getting down with a get down.
I am down with the D-town. The problem is the problem is, gentlemen, young men,
you're down to adjust what's already that you like. What are you doing when you're
tell me.
What are you doing when you're adding extra teams to the playoffs? All you're doing is adding extra games for you to watch. What are you doing when you add extra games for you to watch? When you add teams to your division, what are you doing? You're proving.
Okay, but it's breaking traditions.
Big Ten is still better than Pac-12, even though they came to the Big Ten. How many times are you going to say that?
Well, the Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore, really.
When Michigan beats Washington and Oregon, and all we're going to hear from you is, oh, they should have stayed in the Pac-12, or maybe they should have picked the Big Ten.
No, I'm saying it is.
So
I come to the Big Ten. This is what you're going to get every year, every game in the Big Ten.
Okay.
It's Nebraska. And
I'm not going to deny.
Indiana.
I'm not going to deny. I'm not gonna deny that I would totally do that if we beat both of them next year. But back to the NBA in-season tournament that we were talking about, that you guys are trying to skate by and bring in other shit. What do you get out of this? Like, okay,
Right.
you win the tournament, big deal. There's still an entire season left, and the championship that matters is at the end. So is this like if we want to put this in wrestling terms, Alex, is this the Intercontinental title to the world title being the NBA finals? Like,
Can't believe you said it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but what you're not saying is, in the wrestling terms, the Intercontinental title might not be the world heavyweight champion, but what it is a good fighting champion that they can put on the line week after week to have a fun flair to it, right? So it is something that the NBA is trying to do, like an Intercontinental champion or a USA champion, right? Something that is a title that for the NBA players, it's incentive for money, right? And so, like, yeah, what else are you going to incentive with? I'm with you. I don't think anybody cares that they won the in-season tournament. What I think they care is it's like, hey, we're playing to get money, and we get these cool courts.
they were already playing to get money. They're getting paid ridiculous money to sit on the bench a lot of games.
So
because they don't even play the full season anymore.
No, I'm with you. They're a bunch of pussies. But what I'm saying is, I think you gotta be open-minded about these things. You haven't even let the in-season tournament fully play out. It's actually been kind of fun to like see these teams play good, and then I think it's gonna be funny to see these teams that made the in-season tournament not make the fucking playoffs. It's gonna be kind of funny.
This is what I'm saying though, is I want real stakes. I don't want just this. This just seems like a pickup tournament. Okay, how about this right now? I'll make it better for you right now. The winner automatically gets into the playoffs, no matter what. So now, depending on how they finish the regular season, will depend their seeding in the playoffs. And so, worst case, they are getting that last slot.
If they finish like 10 or 11, they get the 8th seat or whatever.
Yeah.
So you play one, but you're in.
You're in.
I love it.
See, that makes it fun. That makes this tournament make sense and have some stakes to it, and that are just not just because my $1 million players are getting an extra 100,000. Like, no one gives a fuck about that.
NBA, what do you have to lose? Like, sure, like or maybe you don't even give them the chance to make the playoffs. Maybe what you get them is they get an automatic play-in game, right? Maybe you don't even give them the full chance, but say you're the 10th team and you get the automatic play-in game. Hey, if you don't make it, you're going to be number 9. Like, you get that number 9 spot and you get the play-in, right? So you're not in the playoffs, but like I like that. In the winner, it's only one side, it's only West or East, right? So it's like, hey, you have a chance to, and you have something to play for, because now I love that. Yeah, if you did that, I'm even more for this.
I agree, but I think like we're still just thinking out the basics, because it's still just you win something. Like, where's that competitiveness? Where's that like mindset?
They don't have it anymore anyway.
I mean,
the NBA is soft when it comes to that.
You watch some of these games,
it's like me watching a bunch of dudes.
You watch some of these games, it's not like that at all. And I would say, being an avid basketball person, I don't even watch like that. But I think at the end of the day, like, they still do want to win. Some of these players do want to win. It shows like when you have a Pacers team who's super fucking young and they're playing really good in this tournament. They just beat the Celtics, who are considered to be a championship team.
I chose them to win.
Right? Like, you have these things that are making it fun. I think at the end of the day, like, if you're just a competitor, this is fun for a competitor.
I get that. I don't know if you feel like this, but sometimes I feel like NBA is too cool for school. Like, they're so cool that they don't want to care anymore. Does that make sense? Like, they don't want, like, it doesn't matter if you are like super into like the old team play of like the Spurs is a thing of the past.
Yes, 100% it is.
Like, it's no longer, but look at them. They were a dynasty.
Yep.
Like, but it's a thing of the past because there's
the game.
But what's crazy is you have Tim Duncan, who is considered one, two, maybe 3 greatest power forwards of all time. A lot of people say 1. I'm going to say 1. I'm a big Spurs fan. But he wasn't like this really overpaid person. He was a team guy, just like Brady, right? He took the deals to help his team out. Where is that in basketball anymore? That is being competitive. Not being competitive is I'm going to take a bunch of money so that my team can't fucking get anybody to help me. And we're just going to be a really average team. And we're going to.
But I've got a crazy cool following on social media.
Okay,
Sorry, Justin, I didn't mean to cut you
Who
off.
are you trying to talk to about that? Like, give me a player.
Chris, Justin, what do you think of that?
Give me a player.
I don't
fucking
actually
player that-
believe that Ja Morant cares about winning an NBA title.
100%.
He does not behave like he cares about winning an NBA
Okay.
title.
Okay. Well, give me someone who's not been in legal trouble the last year.
Okay. I don't actually believe James Harden cares about winning a title. He
Sure.
he likes to pretend he cares about winning a title, but he doesn't actually care. What he cares about is the money and living in a cool town where he can go to the club every night. That's what he's shown that he cares about.
Well, he probably wouldn't have asked to be traded to several different teams. And I think the concept of this is that there's no.
Well, it came out that he asked to be traded from the 76ers because he didn't get his max contract. Once again, i.e. the money.
No, okay. Again, you are just jumping to it without hearing it out. So way to do it and make yourself look foolish, because when I end your life, it's gonna look great.
Yeah, mute yourself, Thin Ice. Mute yourself,
At the end
Thin
of the
Ice.
day, he did that. But you talked about people not being like a team environment and people not taking money less to be in there. Don't they still have Paul George? Don't they still have Kawhi Leonard on that team? So whether you paid him or not, it doesn't fucking matter because he still has 3 superstars on that team. You can give me another player that does it, but like at the end of the day,
Kyrie Irving.
what you're talking about, what Alex was talking about, and the concept of what you're saying, they're two different. So Alex was saying, where's this like, hey, share all mentality where players are taking a little bit less to be a little bit more? Well, of course, it's not like that anymore. It's different. Like basketball has changed. No, 100% it has. It's not saying that it hasn't. But I still think there's teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, like the Indiana Pacers, who are using draft capital and getting young players and trading to make good teams. And then you still get people like the Bucks. They did that. They didn't build this team through fucking a bunch of billion trades and get this superstar. Giannis became a superstar. So I think you're taking
was like
the LeBrons and the Hardens and the bigger faces of them and just saying this is what basketball is, and it's not.
But that's what they perceive it is because that's who they're showing the most.
Well, that's who the people who have the most influence in this through social media and things like this. So that's probably what you're watching a lot. But if you actually sat down and probably watched games, like
too boring.
Luka's awesome.
I love Luka. That's why I didn't say Luka.
Jokic has been secretly dominating again this year. He's quietly under. Like there is still so many great players on so many great teams that you're just looking at the prima donnas and the superstars. But like if you thought about that, you would say all that shit about AB when he was doing that crazy stuff, right? You would say that about Tua at this point, right? And that's just
Tua.
Just through it all. Well, no, like not Tua, Tyreek, excuse me. Like he's not that he's a prima donna, but he is just a face of the league. He just naturally old. Like at the end of the day, you're just looking at the select views rather than the overall picture of basketball.
Can I counter that real quick? Tyreek, yes, he talks a lot. Tyreek has backed it up many times.
Well, you understand what I meant about the LeBron has backed it up many times, but is Chris not going to still say LeBron's a prima donna?
I think LeBron's a prima donna too.
Say probably KD is not a prima donna. Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, he can still be a prima donna and still really good at basketball.
KD hasn't done anything in the league though.
We have skated so far off course because this
conversation
started with me saying that the in-season tournament is boring. My issue, we can talk all day about today's NBA and what I have an issue with it compared to the yesteryear's NBA. But the in-season tournament is just, it needs more zest. It needs more stake. Okay. That's why I threw out my suggestion for the playoff.
Well, I like that. And I'm not saying you're wrong because I do think there's like something else would be fun besides just money and the trophy. But like, it's still like when I'm a competitor, I want to fucking win. I don't care what it is. If there's something that's going on, I want to win it. Doesn't matter. If in the tournament, I want to fucking win that, and I want to win the title. That's
what I'm excited. You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited to see what the celebration looks like for the in-season tournament winner.
If it's over the top.
I'm excited.
That's bad.
I'm excited to see
if there's snow goggles and champagne in the locker room, I'm gonna lose my mind because that is the cheesiest, stupidest shit ever.
Well,
that's not
like what college is. Like college, there's a bunch of tournaments and teams win tournaments and do this stuff.
Yeah, but that is the finals.
But
yeah,
like,
that your
no,
bowl
they don't
game
have this
is your
NBA tournament.
championship.
No, they don't have just the fucking final, whatever it is. They do also tournaments throughout the year. They do tournaments through weekends where tournament people go
Oh,
to
college
Hawaii.
basketball, yeah.
Yes, and that's what and football is
Yes.
essentially the same as what it is in the NFL. It's a playoff system now. They're changing it too like that. The NBA just is doing it in reverse, where they're throwing a tournament now into the mix, trying to get a little feel for it and see
No,
what it's
I
like.
understand. I get that.
No, for sure.
But like, I just think it will be so funny. I'm just like,
I don't think they'll be over the top. I think it'll
I'm
be like,
just trying to see like what like the trophy presentation looks like, and like what the fuck is Adam Silver gonna say to like, you guys won.
congratulations on your first.
You're a very promising team this year.
Hey, congratulations on the inaugural in-season tournament. This is your trophy, and here's
No, I actually think the in-season tournament's good. I just think this part of it's going to be really fucking cringy because Chris has said this, and I think I agree. They haven't really won anything. What you won is you beat some teams in the regular season, which is what you should
very
be doing
early in the regular season.
Okay, and this is where I'm going to.
This is a preseason tournament.
I'm gonna stop you real quick because at the end of the day, again, I told you guys this the last time we talked about this. None of you have played a sport that allowed tournaments with soccer. You played soccer tournaments. Did you not feel good after soccer tournaments when you won them?
That's totally different.
Okay, no, it's not different. Did it mean something?
Yes,
to you?
it is.
Did it mean something to you?
Yeah, but you're
winning anything. If you win anything, it means something to you. When I won some like wrestling tournaments, it meant something to me. It may have not been the big deal, and I didn't win the big thing at the end of the fucking year. But winning that tournament, I was like, I won 2 tournaments, and I felt great every time I won those. But I didn't.
You're
win
missing
the big
my point, though.
I'm not
saying that.
You're missing mine.
No, you are, because I'm not over here saying the in-season tournament's stupid because these players aren't going to care. No, I guarantee, if you're on one of these teams and you win this in-season tournament, you're going to go out and party that night and have a great time and celebrate, no doubt. What I'm saying is, as a fan, why should I give a fuck? Why should I give a fuck that this guy who's already making millions of dollars just got a bonus? I don't give a fuck. Why should I give a fuck that this trophy that isn't the league world title trophy be handed to this team? I don't give a fuck. You tell me that team now just secured a spot in the playoffs no matter what. Now I'm interested. Now there's real stakes for me as a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, when your Pistons are 0-11 in November.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on that heaping pile of
This is why I hate
shit.
basketball. It's because the Pistons just can't. I bet if the Pistons were winning in this tournament, this would be the best tournament ever. Oh, fuck yeah, bro. The Pistons, he's like, they're in.
Okay, you are not wrong.
You've never
explained.
You've never explained the tournament, like the way of
the way you just said it was different. Well,
that makes sense.
I can understand, but so I get it. I get what you're saying. But ultimately, here are some results of the tournament after the end of it. So far on the East side, we just had the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Knicks pretty. It was a pretty high scoring game. There was like no defense. It was like 146 to 122. Giannis and fucking Dame combined like 63 points, something silly like that. Did you guys realize Cameron Payne was on the Bucks? Talk about a great sixth man. I love that.
He went from the Suns to the Bucks?
No, he went somewhere else and then to the Bucks. I can't remember where he went.
Interesting.
Was he a part of that trade?
Yes.
When they got he
KD.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Or not even KD. Also,
Dame.
No, Beal.
No, not Dame. The dude from Beal. Thank you.
I think he was. I think you're right. I think he was in the trade with KD, and Cameron Payne went to the Nets and played with Brooklyn for a year, and then I guess he must have just ended up with the Bucks. Or I could be talking out my ass, but I think that's what happened.
Or I could be just talking up my ass.
So who's left?
So he was
Bucks.
with Phoenix. I think he just went to the Bucks. I don't know who he went.
The Bucks are left out of the East.
No. So the Bucks. Okay, the Bucks won, and then the other team was the Pelicans. Not the Pelicans. The Pacers beat the Celtics. Right. So you
crazy
got teams in the semis, which is crazy. And then on the West side, you have the Pelicans beat the Kings, which was kind of crazy. Pelicans are a pretty decent team, I think, with the people they have. I just think Zion's always hurt, so it doesn't really do him anything.
Talk about a bust.
But they seem super cocky about winning against the Kings, that they think they're going to win it all. And they got to play the Lakers, who beat the Suns in controversial fashion, like always.
Oh my God. What
There
isn't
was so
controversial
much
with fucking
information on the end that last like little bit, dude. Everybody was saying something about this and that. It was so silly.
I didn't hear it. All I know is that I saw someone post that the Lakers beat the Suns, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Like
Barely.
The Suns are gonna do what they always do and fucking shit the bed.
Yeah. Get so far and shit the bed. 100%. So the Lakers are going to take on New Orleans tomorrow, and so will Milwaukee.
Is it a
Pacers.
one-game
The game will
series?
be held on Saturday. Yep.
Damn.
Yep. And then the winner will be on Saturday. So who do you guys think is going to make it in?
I think it's gonna be. I'm riding Pelicans. Taking on the Pacers. I don't know. I think that'd be fun to see. Two young teams playing each other.
I would love
I'm
to
going to
see
go Lakers, Pacers.
in a dream scenario. I'd love to see the Lakers Milwaukee. It kind of gives a championship kind of mentality and feel to it, to two top teams or dominant teams, right?
I get that.
I could see the Pacers winning this out of just hype and excitement for their young squad after beating the Celtics. And I could see both those teams winning, but I'm going to go for the Lakers. So I think it's going to be a Lakers Pacers. So it's going to be a gold covered.
And then who wins it all? I'm riding Pacers.
I say Lakers. LeBron's going to win everything. He always does. I don't know how he does.
They're not wrong.
If you think the NBA is going to allow anyone but LeBron to win the inaugural in-season tournament,
You're wrong.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. Well, I'm riding the Pacers.
Yeah. Watch them lose though. Hey, you never know. So they got to play the game to win ultimately, and they got to get there to do it. So hey, we'll see. Well, besides that, I don't really have anything else in basketball. We can sit there and talk, but I think we talked a lot about the in-season tournament. And to be honest with you guys, it's already late. So you guys have
Before we do that, before we hop off, there's one thing that we need to talk about. We won't rant too long about it. It's not that big of a controversial topic. The
Von Miller.
NCAA college football playoffs.
Dude, we could do an entire episode on the Final Four prediction. Here's what I'll say real quick. If I understand the Florida State fans being upset, I totally get that. If I was a Florida State fan, I'd be livid.
I would be
They
too.
totally have every right to deserve
to be in there,
to feel that they deserve a spot in that playoff. However, I totally understand why they were not put in.
Yeah.
And it is
almost
what
like
it is.
like you said, it's almost they should have flexed the TCU last year, but they couldn't because they didn't lose any talent.
Well,
they were just winning.
the other issue last year was it wasn't as tight of a finish as it was this year.
Yeah.
So
there were
now,
so
Alabama
many top
upsetting
teams this
Georgia
year.
is huge, and I can't
Was
believe Georgia
crazy.
went from 1 to like what 6th. How they get knocked back so bad just because Alabama beat them. That was intense to me.
They basically switched. 'Cause I think Alabama was 6. They basically switched.
Alabama was 8.
Oh, they were 8. My bad. And
that's
then,
what's crazy is 8 jumped to 4.
Yep. Well, Georgia dropped the most at 5, and then Texas and Alabama jumped 4 spots. That's insane.
That's crazy. Texas jumped so much just for a win in the Big 12 over a fucking
they beat
OKC
Alabama.
State.
They beat a lot of good teams, but they lost to a really bad Oklahoma team.
It was a tough loss. It was a one.
Yeah.
I'm guessing what they're okay, minus what the controversy is. We talked about that. Now let's talk about the games, right? Minus the controversy, it is what it is. We have the games.
Michigan number 1. That's crazy.
Michigan number 1.
How do you feel, bro?
Taking on a really tough number 4 in Alabama. That's shitty, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's the Rose Bowl that they're getting for the semifinal. I think that's special. I'm very excited. I know a lot of people were giving Michigan shit because in their video they looked shocked.
They looked pissed
to see that. Well, yeah, because they were expecting Florida State, and they figured, okay, Florida State's undefeated. They won their conference game. Like they're all ready for. They probably assumed for sure Florida State was the team, and that is definitely the easier matchup, no doubt. But I'm glad that it's not Florida State. I'm glad that it's Bama, because the other option was there was a chance that there wasn't going to be an SEC team in this playoff at all. And if Michigan was going to win it all, I did not want to hear that, this tournament was bullshit because there wasn't an SEC representation. So I'm glad that at least Georgia or Alabama made it in, and I have absolutely no issue facing them because we were going to have to, no matter what, to win it all.
Georgia, I feel like Georgia, out of all the teams, got screwed the worst here.
They kind of did. I still believe that they're a top team, and they deserve to be. That was their first loss in 2 years. They're back-to-back champs. I wasn't surprised that Florida State got bumped out. I was surprised that Georgia did. I thought Georgia would still make it.
I thought it'd be Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Georgia.
Yeah.
I know Alabama won, but I didn't think Texas was a little higher ranked. They beat Texas, beat Alabama. Yeah, Alabama beat Georgia, but getting Georgia 2-time championships.
It's hard not to put Alabama in.
It's weird. But here's the thing.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, but I get what you're saying. It's hard.
SEC champions. Like, it's hard. If you're going to put an SEC team in, you have
and they kind of dominated them.
You have
they had control of that game.
Yeah.
Like if you're
what I'm excited about is they lost to Texas.
Yeah, they did.
They looked bad in quite a few games this year, including Auburn. Let's be frank. They're only in this position because they beat Auburn, and they only beat Auburn on a ridiculous miracle last second play. That's the only reason why
they're there for a reason. But I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think it's the perfect way, like you said, for Michigan to prove that the Big Ten is like can compete with the SEC, because that's always the thing, right? Is the SEC is really the best conference. Living in the SEC, I fucking hear it all the damn time. The SEC, the SEC. And I'm like, you are Vanderbilt. You shouldn't be talking like you're in the SEC. You're fucking
Most
Vanderbilt.
of the SEC should not fucking talk.
No,
because the SEC is trash besides for Bama, Georgia, and sometimes LSU.
Sometimes like a random, like Tennessee was good last year, right? Like a random, like a random,
they'll have
whatever,
a random one-off.
I think it's gonna be good. I think they're gonna beat them. I think it's gonna be Texas and Michigan in the finals.
I was actually thinking it was going to be Michigan and UW as well.
That would be more fun because
it's like the first Big Ten championship.
Yeah, Big Ten champs. But you have the SEC, like it's like, yeah. But I think it'd be fun. I don't know. Either way, I think it's gonna be fun. I just do not want to see Alabama in the finals. It's the only thing.
I agree, and I understand what you said. Why Alabama always deserves to be there because, well, it's Alabama. Blah 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 blah. But I would love to see a UW Michigan for a lot of different reasons.
Fun.
Yeah, it'll be super super fun. So we'll see.
So who are you taking?
What's up? Who do you think will take it? Well, if UW makes it, I want UW to make it and win. Sorry, Chris. I just think.
I understand.
My my place, but
you taking Michigan?
Yeah, of course he's taking Michigan, dude. Don't even
guess what I'm taking.
I think you're taking Texas.
I bleed blue, baby. I'm a Michigan Wolverine now. They're taking it all away.
Are you going to stay that way next year when they play Penn State?
Yes, I bleed blue now.
Okay.
I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Awesome.
I've bought into the culture.
I love it.
I
welcome you.
Big blue, baby. We fucking hate green. Fuck
Block
them, bitches. I gotta learn the stuff. I touch the flag every time they play.
Banner.
I touch the banner every time they play. I gotta learn my stuff. We hate Michigan State. We hate fucking we hate the red team. We don't even say their name because that's how much we hate them. The red team.
No, we call them Ohio. We just label them strictly as Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. The game. So I'm learning. I'm a Michigan fan, baby, through and through. For life.
All right, sign us off, big guy.
Other than that, boys, anything else?
No.
Justin, I think it's only right that you hosted this podcast. So I think you sign us off, baby. Take it away.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Absolutely. And it's not going to be that aggressive because I'm more mild-mannered. And at the end of the day, hey, thank you for following along. If you want to listen to more of us, you can find us at the Three Meatballs podcast on all socials and YouTube primarily. And thank you for staying. And guys, have a great night. And Alex,
you know how to sign off.
We'll do.
And if you don't follow us, fuck you.
But have a nice day.
But have a great day.